Hello everyone, welcome back. So, I got my gnome priest here to level 45, which means we can now continue the campaign. So, the first thing that came up after I got to level 45 in terms of the next part of the campaign to do was a mission where it was titled Infiltrating Our Enemies, where we were trying to see if we could find some other possible allies. And, well, turning this in, Alonsus Fowl then said, "Your efforts have provided us with the information we need to move forward. It's been discovered that there are a few defectors among the Scarlet Onslaught." Really? I mean, I'm not necessarily surprised, but then again, we've encountered our fair share of complete zealots when it comes to the Scarlet I still have a tendency to say the Scarlet Crusade, even though they renamed themselves the Scarlet Onslaught. It is the same organization, just under a different name now because of what happened in Wrath. But, yeah, this is kind of a big deal.
Let us get to work.
A few defectors have been discovered among the Scarlet Onslaught in Northrend. I know it's difficult to think that any within their ranks could be useful to our cause, but we must make an attempt. The prophecy says an old enemy will become an ally, so it is worth it to investigate and see if these defectors can be brought to the light.
Does it have to be the light? Maybe the void? Anyways.
May light and shadow guide you.
So, this is kind of a big deal. That we are actually willing to see if we can actually get an ally amongst possible defectors amongst the Scarlet Onslaught. Even if they are defecting, they are more than likely guilty of doing and participating in some pretty horrible things that we know the Scarlet Onslaught and Crusade were very much involved in. So, alright, let's head on through, of course, the way to get there. We first take the portal to Stormwind, then we'll take the portal to Northrend, the Dalaran in Northrend, and then we'll go from there. Since we're basically heading to the area that you would have quested in. By the way, if you notice some lag in the video, it's not on your part, more than likely. I'm just having some strange lag in certain moments in certain places, like certain transitions. Like if I start to move or something right there. You saw that? Yeah, that's on my part. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm in the process of trying to see what I can do to figure it out, get it fixed. I don't know how long it's going to take me, so it's probably going to be in some of my videos going forward for a certain amount of time. Don't really know how long. Sorry. Oh, so it's going to be all the way down in Dragonblight. Oh, that's interesting.
I am honored.
Alright, so I guess we'll just go to Wormrest Temple and then go from there. This is one of those areas, like right here. I don't know why, but most of the time in a game like WoW, like this has only been happening over the past few days after a recent update on my GPU. I don't know if that is the cause or not, but it leads me to suspect it may be related, because I've also heard at least one or two other people may have possibly had similar results from that update. But most of the time, I'm able to, here on my new PC with my pretty decent specs, able to have, very nice quality with 60 FPS, as you can see. But then at certain points in the game, certain places, you see there, all of a sudden it just dips and drops to 15 frames per second. I don't know why it's doing that. It only happens in certain places at certain times, like right here. Then all of a sudden it goes back to being completely fine. Back up to 60 frames per second, nice and smooth, able to keep it at very nice quality. If you're curious what settings I'm running on, you can see here, these are the recommended settings that my GPU, I use the GeForce Experience app that my NVIDIA graphics card comes with, that NVIDIA and GeForce recommends using. It basically will try to set any game that is detected on your computer to what it considers the most optimal settings. for whether it be, and you can change it between best quality or best performance, or it can find kind of a nice balance in between based on whatever your computer's specs are. And based on my specs and such, these are the different kinds of settings that it just kind of automatically set to. You can see I even have auto detect set on here. I don't know, me and my very novice level of PC tech, a lot of these things I don't really know what they actually mean when I first see them. I'm sure many people will see this and they'll know exactly what's going on, but this is what I'm currently running in terms of my settings. Even though the game will actually recommend, like you can see here, the game recommends I run this on high instead of ultra high. So what the GeForce Experience app recommends and what the game itself recommends can be two different things. It's kind of confusing. So, anyways, we're gonna head on over here down to New Hearthglen, which was an area we quested in because, as you can see over there, there is a building that looks very much like the Scarlet building back in the Scarlet Monastery back in Tirisfal. Yeah, so during Wrath, there was a quest line where we came here and we basically put down the Scarlet Onslaught that came here under the secret orders of Mal'Ganis to try and take down the Lich King and the Scourge. Why? Well, because Mal'Ganis wanted revenge against Arthas. But you can even see here the buildings here, all very reminiscent of the Scarlet Onslaught.
Just do it already. I would rather die than spend another day living a life built around your twisted beliefs.
We'll see how I do here, guys. Whoa, whoa! Not entirely sure what's going on here. Okay. Ugh, the lag.
Hello.
Mariella the Heretic. Oh my goodness, will you all stop it? Okay. Why are you here? Why bother saving me? I was prepared to die. I should pay for the terrible things I've done. I mean, she's not wrong. Yeah, considering all the horrible things they've done, I don't really blame her for feeling that way. I was almost tempted to just simply let them do that. The light shines upon me. For the first time in my life, I feel it. Really? Just saying. I was without hope, ready to die, for the things that I had done in the name of the Scarlet Crusade. But then you appeared. You are my chance of redemption. Please, let me prove to you that I am worthy of a second chance. Let me slay those that I used to be loyal to. Well, okay then.
I will be redeemed. How can I help? I will atone.
Oh, that stun.
Yes?
As much as I'd like to forget my time with the Scarlet Onslaught, the horrible things I did under their name will haunt me forever. It may take a lifetime to redeem myself, but it's what I must do. There are others like me, others that have removed the veil that the Scarlet Crusade has kept over our eyes for so long. They've been placed in cages, treated like animals, simply because their beliefs no longer line up with what the Onslaught deems as right and holy. They wish to redeem themselves. We should try to free them, if you think that their lives are worth saving.
May the light shine upon you.
Well, that depends how remorseful they really are. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. If I could quickly fix this issue, I would, but I don't know. Like I said, a good chunk of the time it's mostly fine, but then certain times it just all of a sudden just kind of like gets slow. It's very quick and minor, but still, you still notice it when it happens. You know what's funny? This is kind of unrelated to WoW. But you know how sometimes there are certain games you know didn't necessarily run that well on PC, and you're so curious if your now more up-to-date modern machine can run it at a decent quality? One of those games that I know is the case, in case you ever want to test out your machine, is Batman Arkham Knight, which has a history of not running well on PC. It ran fantastic on PS4, but on PC, that was a whole different story. Well, even on my more modern machine here, it still only recommends like low settings, and even then I get a warning when I boot up the game saying you have an outdated outdated graphics card, and I'm just like, what? What do you mean outdated? Pretty sure this graphics card was made after the game came out, you know? It's funny when even my more recent and current machine is saying I can't run a game as old as Batman Arkham Knight, which came out not too long ago, but it also came out a number of years ago. In the, you know, at this point it would be like maybe 6 years or so.
Hello.
The mercy you have shown brings tears to my eyes.
I will atone.
We'll see. Like, it's commendable what she's doing, but this is still a big deal. What's going on here? This whole, you know, she's going to try and redeem himself and all that. It's still a big deal. This was someone who was part of the Scarlet Crusade, which is really, really bad. Yeah, this is the only part that really bothers me here when it comes to the way my machine is running. When it affects gameplay like this for me. I'm really concerned this is going to be the case if I get into more group content. Which, if that's the case, I'll have to let my guilds know, look, I don't think I can raid with you guys until I fix this, because trying to raid in, you know, while my machine is acting up like this is probably not a great idea. I'm trying to figure out solutions to fix it. I'm considering upgrading my RAM. I don't know if that is the problem or not, or if it could be I just have to wait until the next GPU update for my graphics card. That could be the problem. That could be a separate issue. I don't know. All I know is that during the first week that I was running this and testing it, it wasn't doing this. It was running completely fine. And then the recent update happened, and all of a sudden this started being an issue. I think we should start making our way up here towards this Inquisitor ward.
Yes?
The light truly shines upon me. Your presence has proven that. You helped me escape my fate by freeing me from the gallows, but allowing me to fight the Scarlet Onslaught by your side has truly freed my heart and mind from the guilt that I have felt for so long. I want to be a part of something greater than myself, a noble cause that won't distort the meaning of the light. But I'm void! What? Let me travel to your temple and beg forgiveness of the Prophet. I may not be a welcome guest, but it's a journey I must make to complete my redemption. I think we may want to change your outfit. Just saying, you still wearing the outfit of the Scarlet Crusade is probably not the best idea. There are some that may attack you on sight.
May the light
Just
shine
saying.
upon you. I'm ready to leave this place and never look back.
Well, good. Now, I believe in lore, we actually allow, maybe 10 or so. You remember those other ones we freed in the cages? In lore, the idea is that she was not the only defector. There were several others. And so, she joins them all. But even if that wasn't the case, if it was just her, this is still a big deal. One Scarlet Priest is still a big deal that we are allowing her in here.
I will hide in shadows no longer.
Is this the enemy that we should welcome as an ally?
And this is unexpected. A Scarlet Priest walking through our temple.
I no longer take their name or their values.
Yet you still wear their outfit.
I wish to aid my fellow priests in their fight against the Burning Legion.
In times such as these, we cannot afford to turn away those willing to help. We welcome you as our new ally.
Commander, Alonsus, forgive the interruption, but I have news I believe you will want to hear.
Go on, Dallas. Tell us what you've learned.
I've been working with a pony Brightmane and the leader of her order. We translated a codex that details the Legion's plans to establish an invasion point at Fellblaze Ingress. I'd like to take a small group of priests to accompany the Paladins in their search of this demon world. If the Dreadlord is there, we will find him.
Very well, Dallas. Return to the temple at once when you have any information we can
let you
act on.
down.
And then she will join the Paladin Order Hall. But yeah, this is where another example of the cross between the Priest and Paladin Order Hall happens.
We will accomplish much together.
How can I help?
I owe you my life, and so much more. You saw something in me worth saving. Not really. And allowed me to eventually believe that as well. Let me live my life with purpose. Let me fight by your side. We'll see.
You gave me a chance to redeem myself, and I will spend my life trying to do so.
I will hide in shadows no longer.
Go ahead and put that on.
The light walks among us, as does one of our enemies. You have done well to bring the prophecy to life, but it is not yet complete. The shadows must rise, and to do so, the cult of forgotten shadows must be restored. You will find the few remaining followers at the cemetery in Duskwood. They linger there near the grave of their fallen leader. Really?
May light and shadow guide you.
Well, I guess we are heading to Duskwood. Alright, so that's gonna help a bit. Oh, it has a socket. Let me put a gem in there. Okay, so going to Duskwood, that's going to be a little different. Because we could just, like, exit out of here and then just fly over to Duskwood from here, since it's really not that far. There are times I do love to just look at Stormwind and listen to the music. Okay, am I heading in the right direction? Yeah. So they're actually just right over here. Expect to see this gnome priest a bit more, because as you can see, I am almost too exalted with Gnomeregan with this character. Once I do that, I'll be able to do the heritage armor stuff.
I'm listening.
Alonzo sent you, did he?
Oh, goodness. Hold on. Oh, boy. Whoa. This is one of the things I don't like about this change in the area. All the enemies here are now the same level as me, whereas back when this was current content, I was much higher than they were, so they wouldn't aggro to me.
Alonzo sent you, did he? He's never shown much interest in us before.
Keep that in mind right there, what you're seeing right there. That's... looks like a body. Like, it's not really decayed or anything. It's kind of looks fine.
Of course, we've never been ones to follow the light, at least not in the way that most would want us to. We embrace the shadows as well, finding our faith in the balance between both extremes. Our leader was murdered for her beliefs, or so most would believe. Natalie Celine knew her fate and took steps to protect herself from an inevitable death. The night her attackers came, Natalie sent her spirit to the void, its location known only to Natalie herself. She penned a spell to retrieve it in one of her many journals, but the tome has since fallen into the hands of those who wished her dead in the first place. Without her journal, we will never be able to recover her spirit.
Beware.
Right. I'll be right back with that journal. Quiet, Zalatath. Unfortunately, it looks like I can't read it.
What is it?
We watch over Natalie's body, forever hopeful that her spirit will return.
Sorry. Knocked my mic there for a second. And I was on top of Natalie's body for a moment there.
This is it. This is the journal that contains the spell to locate Natalie's spirit. This is without a doubt Natalie's writing. The entry was scrawled in haste, but the message is clear. The spell within this journal will lead us to Natalie's spirit, but it needs to be incanted at a shadow altar within the catacombs. Odessa and I have a duty to watch over Natalie's body, but with your considerable power, you should be able to perform the spell with ease.
Trust no one.
How am I supposed to read it there if I don't have it? Oh, that one over there.
Trail to follow.
Where are you, Natalie?
Essence of the void.
Gosh, this does so much single target damage. Man, would anyone else feel like, you know, like, if you have claustrophobia, kind of feel that in a place like this? A cold wraith? Oh, hey, Natalie! There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Look, you have... your followers are back over there. They're watching over your body. Let's... wait, see, we...
We'll devour you.
Natalie? Natalie? What are you... come on. What are you doing?
He's one with the void.
Thank you, priest. The weight of the darkness has been lifted.
I remember this area. I think this was part of a quest line in Duskwood. I remember not liking this area because of how filled with enemies it was. I was like, ah! Had a tough time getting out of here. Whoa! And that's another reason why, right there. Okay, that's just mean. Yeah, I'm dead. That was so unfair, the game, to do that. It takes me out of that instance, and there's a boss enemy right there. Ugh. Like, I know it has to do with the quest line here in this zone, but still, that was just mean. Gosh, the input lag right now is just really bothering me. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to get close to the quest giver. Stop it. Leave me alone. Nope. It does make me wonder whether or not I need to turn down some of my settings in the meantime, if that would fix it or not. Because I was looking at, like, the task manager and such. It didn't look like it was using a bunch of my system in order to do this. Like it was, like, small percentages. So I don't really know what the deal is.
Well met.
The lure of the void is strong. There were times I thought I would be lost there forever. Thank you for freeing me.
Embrace the shadows.
You pulled my spirit from the void, which is no easy feat. I cannot deny the part of me that would stay there forever, embraced by the shadows. The void is filled with many whispers, the kind that should have us all worried. We cannot afford to be separated by our beliefs. We must come together as priests of both light and shadow to face the Burning Legion together.
You have the shadows at your side, should you ever need them.
Okay, how about you kind of lend the shadows now? News of my return will spread fast among those who share my beliefs. Soon Azeroth will see the rise of shadows, but I imagine this is not news to you. Whatever your plan may be, I hope it continues to see the cult of Forgotten Shadows as allies.
The shadows will rise again.
Okay.
I have many lucky doos for you, like. Many farewells.
Alright, let's mount up and get out of here. Like I said, just certain areas just cause the game to just kind of dip down when it comes to how smooth the frame rate is and such. Once I'm up here in the sky, yeah, I'm fine. 60 frames per second and everything, it's great. But in a place like that, all of a sudden it just dips, and I don't understand why or why it's doing that. It's one thing when you know what the problem is and you know how to try and fix it. It's another when you don't really know what exactly the problem is, and so you're not really sure what to do in order to fix it. This is why I keep trying to reach out to people who I know are more knowledgeable about PCs and such than I am to try and figure out what this issue is. Unless it's just a matter of me just having to be patient and waiting for NVIDIA to try and put out another update that hopefully will fix this. Because this is not the first time this has happened to me. I've had updates on my GPUs that have caused issues like this, and it wouldn't get fixed until the next update. And then the next update, it would be fine. So this has happened in other games, not just WoW. So if that is the case, we may have to just simply be a little patient. But I don't know. Okay, alright, we'll just go to Azuna. Although I just realized I had my other Hearthstone bound to that Dalaran as well, so I could have Hearth back there, but oh well. Not a big deal at this point.
Our soldiers grow weary of the Naga's relentless assault. Rally them, my I've sacrificed everything. What have you given?
So those are now 2 groups of priests that we have now added to our group to help us out for the upcoming encounter with Balnazar. Former Scarlet priests, and extra Shadow priests to go along with the groups and forces that we already had. So we're continuing to build our forces towards a conflict with the Burning Legion. Well, I'll tell you what, being able to run a game like this on higher settings and just simply see some of the detail and such is just pretty awesome. If any of you see this and you perhaps are knowledgeable when it comes to these kinds of issues I'm having, feel free to chime in the comments on what you think it could be, how you think I may be able to fix it. You saw what settings I was running earlier and such. You know, I've tested switching back to those other settings. It doesn't quite work. Oh, look at this.
Where you are. Only priests may step foot within this temple.
Please, let me pass. I have news of Delos Moonfang.
Dallas, you say? Very well. You may remain as a guest until your business with the commander is complete.
Ortichar, traveler.
Yeah, so I would have slapped the guy across the face and been like, hey, watch who you're talking to, pal. This is Maxwell Tyrosus. You will talk to him with respect. This is one thing that bothers me about this right here. Because we have this whole we're working together camaraderie thing with the Order Halls, especially the priests and the paladins, which makes sense. And yet, when Maxwell Tyrosus shows up here, they go, hey, hold on, what are you doing here? Only priests are allowed in here. No paladins are allowed in this hall. What? I would have smacked him and been like, hey, this is one of the greatest paladins in Azeroth. You do not talk to him like that. You know, and I'm one of his superiors, so he would have to listen to what I have to say. I'm just saying. This is like, huh?
At your service.
I've received word from the High Lord that a group of paladins and priests were captured after a battle broke out at Fellblaze Ingress. Your priestess Delos Moonfang was among those captured. They've been taken through the demon portal and into the Legion stronghold of Niskara. We will need the assistance of the Conclave if we have any hope of recovering them.
You can always count on me.
How may I help you?
The Forsaken will rejoice at Natalie Celine's return, and we will as well, knowing that the prophecy is being fulfilled.
Until next time.
Alright, so when we return, we will be helping Maxwell try to figure out what is going on with Delos and such, which is going to be kind of similar to what we saw in the Paladin Order Hall, where we may encounter an interesting entity. I'll kind of leave it at that. Stay tuned.